All right, here we go. So Luna's a little, oh, here's somebody's tree stand. No, Luna's a little antsy because Noah's jumping ahead every milepost, so he's going from milepost to milepost, and he waits for us because, you know, teenagers don't want to ride beside their dad on railway hikes in the middle of nowhere. You know, totally uncommon. Yeah, so here is here's this little lake, or a little pond. Probably at one point it was connected to the lake. Oh, back to the ballast again. Oh. Again, if you've never done this before, it's like when it's thick, like you see the middle part there where it's thick, it's like riding on marbles or ball bearings, or like right here, because you slide all over the place. It's almost like you would need a maybe ideally it'd be a fat tire bike, but they are not cheap. This is my new ride here, and this was not this one was not cheap. Telegraph pole, and then we have a modern culvert, but there's a marker on there. It's very nice. All the milepost markers, a lot of the culverts are all marked. So 17, what did I write here? 17.15. So again, that's the mileage on the Kinghorn. The original line, that would be 117.95. So here, another little rock cut. Just again, a little itty bitty one. So here we're starting to curve, and we're basically following the lay of the land here, or the shore of the lake, if you will. And so as the lake curves, we're curving with it. And we're gonna eventually, so what direction are we heading here? We're heading 247. So we're heading, whoa, Luna, southwest. And we're gonna turn west pretty soon. There's another piece of telegraph pole. Again, very pretty with the leaves sort of coming out, all that sort of very limey green color on all the poplars here. Trying to squeeze, like I said earlier, one of the earlier segments, it's been a very crazy year. And like literally my first hike was at the beginning, the first weekend in May, and there were places where there was still snow on the ground. Like I was riding and there were blobs of snow, patches of snow on the railway grade. And here we are like 3 weeks later, and the leaves are all coming out, so everything's just happened so quickly. I'm trying to squeeze in a few more hikes. I got 4 more hikes I want to do, hopefully by next weekend, so I can get them all in before too much of the leaves come out and then you can't see anything. Another culvert here. What's the mileage? 17.35. Oh, we can still see Noah up there. It's actually perfect right now. So what time is this? 11:30, and there's some high cloud, so you can see how nice and diffused everything is. So it's bright, but we can, you know, it's not like super bright that you know the sun's creating all these shadows and washing everything out. This is like optimal hiking conditions, or video conditions, I guess. All right, so we're pulling in here again beside the lake, and this is a little bay of the lake, or a little sort of sheltered part here with an island. We're going to pause here for a second because we have yet another telegraph pole that we're going to go take a look at. It's right in there, and I don't know if you can see it from here. I can see it. I can see a whole bunch of green insulators. So that's what kind of caught my attention. Okay, so we made our way down below the grade. I had to jump this big ditch here, but really remarkable discovery here. So we have a telegraph pole. First of all, it's loaded with insulators, and it's also full of very unique insulators. So on the second rung here, you can see that there's a whole bunch of Dominion 42s. Almost every peg is full. There's some on the side pegs as well. You have a couple here. Now, look at this. We have two CD143s. Again, these are very, very rare. You can see the CNR lettering on there. We have two Brookfields. And then, probably one of them, I've only seen one of these. This is a sort of light green, it looks like it's got the Dominion symbol on there. So it looks a lot like a kind of a variation of a Dominion 42. Right, because if you look at this, they've got the little, and I don't know if that's an indicator. I'm not a collector, but this is unique with this different color here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to hop back up on the grade. We are basically at the location of Hardrock Station, and so we're going to be pausing shortly to take a look at this. All right, let's resume our journey here. So here we're back to normal. This is what I like. The ballast has been pounded flat here, so it's a lot easier to ride. See, the beaver's been busy at work. Okay, so what's happening here is we're approaching a place called Hardrock. And Hardrock has sort of a very unusual spot, actually. Hold on a second here, didn't even notice this. We have a culvert. It's a modern one. 17.64. Okay, so let's resume my story here. So we're approaching what's called Hardrock. And so Hardrock is one of those kind of interesting places on the railway line. Not an original stop or anything like that on the line, and it ties in very much with the history of this area. So the first sort of inkling of something happening here is in 1934. There's a small little spur that's constructed here that's known as Little Longlac. And the reason why it's called Little Longlac, and again, you can see more information about this if you click on the link in the description. You can go to my page on Hardrock, you can read about this. So it's called Little Longlac is because just sort of southwest of here is the first gold mine that opens up in this area in the 1930s, and it's called the Little Longlac mine, gold mine. And so that's the name of this siding. Now the reason why, or this spur, and the reason why they select this spot here is kind of a sheltered location. It's on the lake. And basically what it allows them to do is it allows them to transport supplies in the summer by boat and by barge, and the wintertime over the ice to the site of the gold mine. And so in 1935, Hardrock becomes actually a stop on the line, just a flag stop. But there actually is kind of a collection of buildings that develops here. And I'm going to put this up on the screen as well. There's like a little town site that gets mapped out here. And as you'll notice, there's nothing here. And so what ends up happening is around the same time that Hardrock gets established, there's another stop further to the west that gets established, Geraldton. Now Geraldton is still a community, and we're going to be approaching Geraldton in a little bit. And so anyway, you have Hardrock here, and then what ends up happening is in 1936 there's a massive forest fire that rips through this area. Geraldton escapes, but Hardrock is basically burnt to the ground, and not like there was a ton of stuff here. You know, essentially there was just sort of a few collections of buildings and things like that. And so essentially that's the end of Hardrock. It stays on the railway timetable, but basically you know, there's not really much happening, and everything kind of revolves out of Geraldton. So here we have a telegraph pole, and you'll notice all of the insulators, almost every peg, save for a few of them, have Dominion 42 insulators on there. I've never seen a, you know, you don't see very many poles like this with that are loaded with insulators. So anyway, so yeah, so sort of Geraldton becomes kind of the place around here for the nearby gold mines. And like I said, Hardrock stays on the timetable. It actually stays on the timetable until the early 1950s when it's pulled off. But really, other than a flag stop, there's not much going on here. You can sort of see the graveyard of poles, and you can see all the cross beams and stuff there. And so again, there's that map that I flashed up on here. There's actually a town site that was like, you know, you could actually see streets and things like that. So they actually mapped it out and kind of registered it. And there's another website. It's online. It's kind of the Ministry of Natural Resources and Forestry for Ontario. And here you can see there's bits of pipe. And on their website, they show the sort of limits of this place, right? So it must have been a registered plan that they were, you know, looking to actually do something here. Okay, so here, lots of little roads. You can see there's little sort of camps and cabins and things like that alongside the grade. So here we're coming up around the corner here somewhere. We should be getting to milepost 18. There's Noah. Let's see, Luna's jumping ahead because she's excited to see him. All right, this one's very visible. So here you can see milepost 18. And so again, that is the mileage on the Kinghorn. And so for the original line, we've got to add the, and we actually have a telegraph pole down there too. We have to add the 100.8 miles. And so that gives us 118.8. Okay, so we're going to pause here for a minute, and then we're going to continue our westward journey.